احمدوا الرب لأنه صالح.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to give you 7 signs that you are an ugly man. Unfortunately, when men go on the internet to ask for advice when it comes to dating, when it comes to women, almost everybody's telling them, it's not your looks, it's your personality, sweetie. Now, I don't deny that there are some guys out there who do have a bad personality, or maybe not bad personality in the sense of they're evil, but rather they might be autistic, they might be socially anxious, or some other characteristic out there. The problem is that every single time, and I literally mean every single time, it's not your looks, it's your personality, including the guys who very clearly are, let's just say, not attractive, to put lightly. So, because nobody's gonna give you actually, true advice that your looks are the problem, I'm going to be the one that's gonna do that today. You can definitely learn a lot from me because I am a subhuman. I am utter genetic trash. And who to learn better than from a complete genetic trash? I mean, if you're gonna learn about how to get women from guys who constantly get women, logically, you're gonna learn if you're ugly from a guy who's absolutely hideous. That guy being me. So here are the 7 signs that your looks are the problem. Sign number 1. If you experience this, there is absolutely zero doubt in my mind that your looks are the problem, and there should be no doubt in your mind as well. First sign is you get along with women just fine, but nobody hits on you. So you have female friends, not just 1 or 2, but many of them. They're very comfortable hanging out with you. They love having you in their company. They even sometimes invite you to do something one-on-one, like just hanging out. Again, this is not flirting. This is not hitting on you. This is not trying to, give you signals or anything. This is just purely platonic. If you're a type of guy who, when some normie looks from the outside, would think, oh, this guy must get a lot of pussy. Look how much women like him. In reality, women like you just platonically, but nobody, and really nobody, wants to date you, let alone sleep with you. Your looks are the problem. Sign number 2. You get a lot of compliments, especially from women, but none of them are based on your appearance. So women can say, you're funny, you're smart, you're, hardworking, you're a kind person, you're an amazing person, wonderful guy, but there is not a single compliment out there that will tell you that you might be attractive, like, hot, or even cute. Some people say, cute doesn't really count as a compliment, but I would sort of disagree with that. If those are the only type of compliments that you're getting, your personality is not the problem, your looks are the problem. I can speak from experience. At one time, this one chick that I used to work with told me, oh, you're the guy of every girl's dreams. You're so kind, you're so caring, you're so amazing, and she started giving me tons of compliments. None of them were based on her appearance. And the very next thing she started to do was try to hit on some guy on Instagram. Yup, she completely forgot about me and just started hitting on some guy on Instagram who was not really every girl's dream. Sign number 3. Women think that you have a girlfriend or a wife, and a lot of them think that you might be an amazing boyfriend. This can also apply to girls that are your peers, of course. But older women especially, if they see you and say, oh, you're a wonderful guy, you must get a lot of women that are flirting with you. Or, do you have a girlfriend? No? How come? You're an amazing guy. You must know that your looks are a problem. This is again one of those situations where clearly your personality is just fine. It's that you are not, physically desired. Sign number 4 is when you hang out with your male friend and when you meet some chicks, all the attention is given to him. So you could be hanging out with one guy and let's say a group of girls would come and you would all sit down and start talking. And from the first second, all the attention all the looks, all the talk is directed only to your friend, and you don't even exist. Even if you try to join the conversation, they'll just hear what you have to say and then continue giving all the attention to your male friend. This is one's pretty obvious. Sign number 5. When you complain a woman, she reacts negatively. Now, this one is a little tricky. I'm not talking about stuff like, your boobs are amazing. I'm talking about ordinary compliments that might give a slight suggestion that you might be into this woman. And she might be saying thank you simply out of politeness, but unless you're like a turbo artist, you know very well, you can see very well that she does not really appreciate the compliment. You can see on her face when she kind of cringes a little bit, you can kind of see the facial expression is not exactly positive, or her tone is not exactly the most positive one. Like, it really is simple. Like, she cannot really hide. She tries, but she cannot really hide her disgust. Sign number 6. Women are initially pulled to you, but over time are actually very friendly to you. This one is also a little bit tricky. This one applies when you're at work and you have colleagues that are women. And in the beginning, when you meet them, they don't really talk to you much. They're cold. They don't pay attention to you. But over time, if you prove yourself to be a good coworker, if you're a cool dude, if you don't hit on them, if you do nothing other than just, being a genuinely good coworker and nice person to hang out with, then they'll be warm to you. Then they will, talk to you, and then they'll be genuinely nice to you. Otherwise, they're gonna be cold in the beginning. This also happens a lot if you're in college and you're like doing some teamwork and they're gonna be, cold to you. And if there's a possibility that she doesn't have to see you much because, the project is actually quite short-lived and quickly done, then she'll be cold to you throughout the entire time. But if she's forced to interact with you and over time she can see, okay, this guy's actually cool. He won't be creepy on me. He's just genuinely somewhat of a guy. It's cool to hang out. Then you have to realize that your personality is not the problem, your looks are. Sign number 7 is the most obvious one, but it still needs to be mentioned. You've been called ugly. Not just once, not just twice, but, many times. People are not aware that just like Chads get compliments fairly regularly, sub-5 men get called ugly fairly regularly in the almost exact same frequency. Like, there are a lot of people who really are not gonna hold back and they're gonna call you ugly either to your face, directly, indirectly. You can also hear behind your back that they're saying, oh, this guy is very ugly or creepy. And let's be real, creepy is just a code word for ugly. They badmouth your looks. They straight up tell you that you're hideous or that this flaw that you have is absolutely hideous. You're too short, you're too ugly, your eyes are messed up, or your nose is too big. Do not be surprised that there are people out there that will act like that, because the sad fact is, it's not only children or teenagers that do this. The clown world is one huge high school. And if you get called ugly a lot, they might have a point. Sure, they're a bunch of assholes, but they might have a point. If you experience at least 5 of these signs, you know that your looks are not good. And I'm really sorry for that. Your only option is to try to look smacks. I know it's not a nice thing to hear, but it's actually a good thing to hear, because at least I'm not lying to you saying, oh, don't worry, man. It's all about personality. Don't worry, man. You're probably not as ugly as you've been told or as you might think. Don't worry, man. Your looks are not the problem. I have to tell you right now, yes, your looks are the problem. Bye-bye.